With the important rabbi's permission, with your permission, I had the merit to participate in one of the Shabbatons of El HaShoresh in Montreal. I think it was 8 years ago. Many boys and girls in their 20s participated in that Shabbaton, and some of them until today they're in touch with me. That they already got married and they have homes and they, Baruch Hashem, established religious homes. And because we are in an event of our organization that does Kiruv. Kiruv means bringing Jewish souls closer to the Creator of the world, as is the purpose of the creation. I would like to take the opportunity in the next 20 minutes to make everybody understand about this most important cause in the history of this world. I repeat, people are very smart when it comes to investment with money. If a stockbroker offering you 10 different stocks, one will give you 5% a year, 110, 112, 115. You're checking all the records, all the financials, all the risks, how long they're in business, references, what's the potential, where the market is heading, what's going to be with terrorism, what's going to be with the economy. So many things you check. After paying so much to your lawyers and advisors, you invest X amount of money in this stock. How much the best stocks can give you? 20% a year, you'll be very happy. There is one stock that the Creator of the world offered in the moment that He created this world and He gave us the Torah. Once Hashem gave us the Torah in front of millions of people, and it's a written divine document, Hashem automatically binded Himself to every word that the Torah has. Every word inside will never change. Nothing is going to be even 1% different than the way He promised. And what do you think He promised the biggest reward? The answer, every mitzvah a person does in his life. You put tefillin, 1 mitzvah. You put tefillin on the head, 2 mitzvot. You put talit in the morning, 3 mitzvot. You made birkat Hamazon, 4 mitzvot. All day you business, work, you come, you pray a little bit, you do Kriyat Shema, Shachrit, Arvit, 6 a day, 10 a day, 20 a day, 50 mitzvot a day. What a tzaddik. There is one great investment that you can duplicate yourself unlimited. Let's call you, for the argument's sake, Moshe. How many mitzvot Moshe can do in a day? Let's say 50. What happens if there would be 2 Moshe? There will be 100. What happens if it's 10 Moshe? 500. What happens if it's thousands of Moshe? Millions. Millions means more profit. We're not talking temporary profit, money. We're talking eternal spiritual reward that the Torah promised. That if you take all the reward of all the people from the time Hashem created the world until the end of time, multiply by billions of people, Jews and non-Jews, any possible reward that you can think of combined is not equal to the reward of one Jew in the afterlife, in Olam Haba, for 1 hour. Now, if you can multiply this hour to be billions and trillions, wouldn't you want it? And it's much easier than what people think. People think, oh, I have to give millions. All my life I have to give to get such a reward. Not necessarily. It's a lot easier. Let me explain what I mean. In a world that we live today, there's one father that has 10 sons. 10 sons. 9 of them are very poor, and 1 of them is very wealthy, very successful. The father got lucky that at least 1 of his sons can support him, because, you know, he's an older man, he cannot work. So that wealthy son took care of all the necessary things that his father needs. Rent, mortgage, cars, driver, nurse, everything he needs. How long? 20 years the boy feed his father. Takes him, he takes care of him, everything you need. Here's my credit card. Just don't ever hesitate, father. I owe you, you brought me to this world, you raised me. The minimum I can do, out of gratitude, I'll take care of all your needs as long as you live. Good boy or bad boy? What do you think? Wonderful boy, no? Everyone wants to have at least one like that if he needs. But the Torah doesn't say necessarily that somebody like that is better than the others. Let me explain. One day this father, after 120 years, he has about an hour or two until he leaves this world, and he called all his sons to the hospital. He wants to give them the last blessing, like Yaakov Avinu did with his sons. And the 9 poor ones go one after the other. First, second, third. He gives them the blessing. They basically did nothing for him because they can't. Then the last one, he's thinking, oh, wow, my father prepared the best blessing for me. Once he walks in, his father told him like this, son, I know what you're thinking. You took care of me for 20 years. You did everything I need. But I want to tell you something. I know you don't love me. So the son said to him, Abba, what are you talking about? I'll give my life for you. The father repeats, you don't love me and don't play games. He said, Abba, maybe you're already losing your mind. He said, listen, I'm not losing my mind. I'm 100% crystal clear. You see your 9 brothers? Each one of them loved me more than you. He said, Abba, but I did nothing for you. I did everything for you. And the father told him one sentence and he closed his eyes. What did he say? He said, if you really loved me, you would take care of your 9 other children that 20 years are lost and have nothing in life. And I sit at home crying for 20 years that 9 of my children have nothing and they're far away and I cannot do anything. And you had enough to take care of all of them. If you really loved me, you would take care of my other children. That would make me happy. When I have only one son who takes care of me, very nice of you. But what about your other 9 brothers? These are my children and they are lost. Who is going to save them? You. You had the opportunity. They couldn't save each other. You could have saved them and brought them back to me. Because you failed to do so, I'm deeply disappointed from you. This story reflects exactly what Hashem said to every one of us when He gave us the Torah. There's one mitzvah from the 613 laws. We have 613 laws in the Torah, 365 restrictions, 248 organs. For each organ on a body, we have a positive commandment. For each ligament in a body, we have a restriction. Tariag mitzvot, 248 positive mitzvot, 365 restrictions. Each one relates to an organ or to a ligament. When the soul comes out of the body in the time of death, the Ari HaKadosh, the greatest legendary Kabbalist, the biggest in the last 2,000 years, he writes that the soul comes to the court of heaven, and by looking at the image of the person, you can see right away which mitzvot he kept, which mitzvot he wasn't so great. The image of the soul shows already what you did right, what you did wrong before the trial even began. One of these mitzvot is Ocheach tochiach et amitecha velo tisa alav chet. There's an obligation in the Torah. When you see your Jewish brother is about to, God forbid, take something that may kill him, you don't have permission to sit and smoke your cigar like nothing is happening. You must get up and scream, stop. You're about to lose your life, stop. You have to do something. If you sit there and smoke your cigars and then something happened to him, you have a very serious problem. If a father sees 2 of his sons, one is doing something horrible and the other one sits and smokes, what is he going to say to this one? What's going on with you? You see your brother is falling and you don't care? The whole concept of Kiruv is much more important than saving the bodies. Because we live here 70, 80, 90 years and it's over. It's a blink of the eye, Chazal say. This world is a blink of the eye, ke'eref ayin, finished. But the spiritual life is eternal, and the soul is divine. The soul will never die. Saving the soul, making the soul fulfill the purpose of the creation is the most important thing. And that's why the reward for that is huge. The Gemara is teaching us a very important concept. When Cain killed his brother Hevel, he didn't know exactly what does it mean to be a murderer because he never saw anyone die before. As the world just started, he hit him, he bled, and he died. Wake up, brother, wake up, too late. He didn't know. He didn't know that when you hit someone with a rock on his head, he may die. But this is the first time he realized, oh, there's no way to correct what I've done. And right after that, Hashem came to him and said, where is your brother Hevel? But Hashem knows where he is, but he wants him to confess. So he said to him, where is your brother? And he said to him, am I the keeper of my brother? He didn't know exactly what's going on yet. And Hashem said to him one sentence that is shocking, if you understand what we're talking here about. He told him, the bloods, plural, the bloods of your brother is screaming to me from the ground. Which brothers? Which bloods? There was one individual. He doesn't have children, no one. You just killed millions of people, he told him. Him, his children, his grandchildren, they're all screaming to me. Because our potential father just died, we will not come to this world to do our tikkun. You actually made a very serious damage to my world. Because if the pyramid started with Hevel almost 6,000 years ago and we have 7.5 billion people, it should have started with 2 people, we would probably have doubled. You interfere with my play for the creation. And Chazal are teaching us something very important. They say if in a negative way Hashem held him responsible for all the possible good things that should have come, and he holds him responsible, saving a soul from a destruction and bringing him back to the right place, and then he has children and grandchildren, there's endless reward for what's going to come from this. The prophet Yirmiyahu, he praised Hashem for one very important thing. You know, the prophets didn't speak from their own opinion. Every word that you see in the prophets, it's all Ruach Hashem. One of the verses in the Navi is, you great Hashem, paying a human being according to the fruits of his actions. Not according to his actions, there's extra word here in a verse. According to the fruit of his actions. What does it mean, fruit of his actions? Actions or not actions? The answer is, when a person does something good in the world, he contributes to save souls. He gives money for CDs, for seminars, to bring Jews to hear the word of Hashem, to invite people for his house and give them some words of Torah on Shabbat, to save them from horrible things that they're about to do. This is all saving the children of Hashem. Once he's managed to save them, all the fruits that would come for 1 hour effort, or 1 day effort, or 1 week, you cash on that for eternity and constantly keep coming and coming, just like planting a tree. And the tree generates fruits every year and it's never gonna end. But God forbid, it could have been the other way around. If a person was in the right place and you took him out of there, you also have to be responsible for what he has done. We have to know one thing. In the Zohar, in Parashat Truma, Zohar, you know, it's Kabbalah. That's where all the Kabbalah started. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, one day he wrote the Zohar. His student Rabbi Abba wrote it. It was discovered about 1,300 years later. Once he came to the world, the Kabbalah started to bloom in Europe. The Ramban, Rabbeinu Yonah, some Ashkenazim rabbis, they all were very big Mekubalim 800 years ago, 700 years ago. One of the things the Zohar says in Parashat Truma, it's really incredible. What does it say? It says like this: if a person would know what an important mission it is to save the soul of one Jew, one of his brothers, of his lost brothers, one is in India, one is who knows where. If he only knew What a huge reward he's going to get for that. He would run after this person 70 years, killing himself, begging him, giving him money, doing everything he can to make him become keeping the laws of God, keep Shabbat or eat kosher, marry the right person, etc. If he only knew one, he would give his life for this mission, even if he suffers 70 years non-stop. But the one person he was able to save, he would invest all his efforts to save one soul. What happens if it's 5? What if it's 10? Why if it's 1,000? Why if, I tell you, I give you an example what I'm talking about. About 15 years ago, I made the first Jewish movie in a Jewish history to save souls. Nobody ever heard before about making movies to make Baalei Tshuva. It was all audio cassettes. We made the first film, a Hollywood producer that I had the merit to make him religious in Manhattan. He was making films for HBO television. I brought him into the Torah. I brought him to my house for Shabbat. After that, he started to do the right thing. And then one day he said to me, let's make a film. I started to smile. I said, what film? He said, you give me all your material that you show in your seminars, and I'm going to make a film and we'll make thousands of Baalei Tshuva. But I still wasn't aware of this concept because nobody ever made that before. I was smiling. I said, film? Who is film? He said, trust me, what you show in the seminars, we'll make it in a film. So, okay, I went to Israel. I gave a lecture by his parents' house, 4 hours lectures. 4 hours. He cut some parts. He made it 72 minutes. We called it Informatia Elokit, divine information. That's how my website called until today, divine information, after that film. Once we made that film, there is a person in Bnei Brak named Pinchas Reuven. Everybody knows him in Israel. He gives tons of CDs and he makes a lot of, he gets all the people to the stadium with Rav Ovadia and all the other people. Once he saw that, he said, I'm going to make 10,000 every week. In the meantime, I saw that he's doing very well in Israel. We gave already more than 100,000 copies. I decided to make English subtitle in America. I made English subtitle, and I wanted to order 10,000 from Lakewood, from New Jersey. One Georgian guy that just was Shomer Mitzvot maybe 2-3 months from my lectures. He grew up in America, no yeshiva, no nothing. Baruch Hashem, he and his wife became religious. He heard that I want to make CDs. Right away, he pulled his checkbook, and he wrote $1,500. He said, first $1,500 on me, because it was $1 cassette, video cassette. We're talking 15 years ago, not CDs, before the CDs. Video cassette. I made 1,500 CDs. I gave one to a Jew from Las Vegas. Shammai is his last name. I gave him that CD, that the video cassette. He watched it. He got the shock of his life. He realized that the Torah is divine, that no person was able to write the Torah. There is afterlife. The world has a purpose. Jews have the Torah and they got it in a public event. All the things that a Jew must know, he found out. In 1 hour, 72 minutes. There are people who died and came back to life. We put them in the end of the video. He became religious. He gave the cassette. Listen to how far it travels. Listen, please carefully listen to this 1-minute story. He gave this cassette to his parents. They live in Vegas. Both of them became Shomrei Shabbat. He gave the tapes. It's all $1. $1 donation of this Georgian Jew. The $1, after he finished with his parents, he gave it to his sister and her husband, and they have children. They became fully religious. They live in Lakewood. Fanatic Haredim they are today. Then he gave the CD to his brother and his sister, and it's all recorded. I can give you the names. You can go and check. He gave it to his brother and his wife, and they have children. They became very, very religious. They moved to Israel. He learns full day in yeshiva in Elad. With the children, with all the people around, about 21 or 22 Jewish souls got saved from $1 investment. Who cashed on that? This Georgian guy who already forgot the law. It's 15 years ago. He doesn't even remember he gave me that check. Wait. In the meantime, this Shammai started to get involved with Kiruv. One day he made me a seminar with Rabbi Mizrachi and myself in New York, 500 people. We made a very big seminar. He saw he's doing very well. He started to organize seminars. Rabbi Cohen, Rabbi Fanger, all the famous names from Israel. We make seminars in America. One day he decides he has to do Aliyah. It's tzaddik, he wants to live in Eretz HaKodesh. He moved to Israel, to Elad. He said to me, I think instead of paying so much money in Israel for the CDs, why don't we buy machines? And there's a lot of demand here. Let's buy the machine, 37,000 shekel each machine, $10,000, $11,000. We got one machine. After a week, we couldn't supply. We needed another machine. We got another machine. The machine works non-stop 6 days a week, producing CDs. I get hundreds of emails every week of people who became Shomrei Shabbat just in Israel alone. All of that goes to that Georgian Jew. All these thousands of Baalei Tshuva that came from this one video cassette is still going to this Georgian Jew who already forgot about it completely. One day he will come in front of Hashem, and Hashem say to him, you know, you have billions of mitzvot. He said, Hashem, with all due respect, you know, I was a religious Jew. I mean, I went to shul, I learned Torah 1 hour here and there. I mean, I think this is the world of the truth. I cannot lie here. You're not talking about me. And Hashem said, trust me, we're talking about you. And he will show him a movie. And I promise you, this is exactly how it works. I read hundreds of books about this topic, because that's what I do for 20 years. When you do something, you must be an expert in what you do. Other things, you know, it's not your territory. This organization and what we do, it's called Kiruv. You have to know your job. You have to know to argue with the wicked people. You have to argue with the people that deny the Torah. You have to argue with fake religions that they come and they try to hunt Jewish souls and bring them into their cults. You have to know all their material. Otherwise, you cannot win the argument. So this is exactly how it works. When a person does this, he gets saved. 450 years ago, there was a very big rabbi in Europe. His name was the Maharsha. Not that many rabbis made it into the Talmud in the end. He's one of the few. I'll just show you how huge he was. One time, a very wicked people in town died. They made him a funeral. And one guy from the yeshiva came, they put the body over there, and he took his finger and he hit him on the nose, on the body, like this. Say, we got rid of you, Rasha. And everyone laughed. You know, finally this person who hated the Torah so much is leaving. That's what it was, 450 years ago. That night, this yeshiva guy is going to sleep. This person comes to him in a dream. He said to him, I want you to know, for you embarrassing me in front of all the people in my funeral, in my eulogy, I will never leave you alone until I kill you. I will never leave you alone. He woke up. It has to be something probably from the day. Try to fall asleep again, he comes again. The next day he comes again. Few days he cannot sleep. Even during the day, he has a nap in yeshiva. Right away he comes to him. People started to talk about it. One person went to the Maharsha. The Maharsha had very, very long hair. Where do you find a rabbi with very, very long hair? The reason that he had long hair, because he was learning Torah without going to sleep. And he tied his hair to the chandelier, that every time he falls asleep, it's pulling him. Alarm! He didn't have iPhones. He needs a special alarm. You know? So they come to the Maharsha. The Maharsha say, cannot be that a person that didn't keep one mitzvah has permission to torture a person that learns Torah all his life. Something doesn't make sense here. I'm coming to sleep in your room tonight. In the middle of the night, this Bahur Yeshiva start to scream. The Maharsha say, please come to me, talk to me. So he said to him, yes, Rabbi. He said, I have one question to you. You already passed, you're already in the next world. Why they give such a wicked person like you permission to disturb a Jewish boy who sits all day and learns Torah? It's against the rules. What's going on? So he said to the rabbi, Rabbi, why do you think I'm wicked? So he told him, you didn't keep any mitzvah. Are you going to deny it? He said, no, you're right. I didn't keep, I wasn't religious. But I want to tell you something. One day I walked on a bridge. There was, you know, a stormy day, and I hear someone scream from the lake. I looked, I see one Jewish boy is drowning. With my nice suit, I didn't think twice. I jumped, I got there, I took him out. We started to talk, and then I found out that he's learning in yeshiva. And he told me that his parents don't have money and doesn't have any money and he's very poor. I felt bad for him. I started to send him 200 rubles every month. Like, let's say $200 today. Not a lot. I used to send him money because I felt bad for him. And when I came to my trial, it started horrible. When they show all the sins that I made, I didn't know where I'm going to end. And all of a sudden, one lawyer, one angel came, and he said, excuse me, there's nothing you can do here. We have a problem. What? He has so many millions of mitzvot, this Rasha, that you're calling him Rasha. So millions of mitzvot? He said, look at this boy. Every day learn Torah non-stop. Every letter is mitzvah from the Torah. He sponsored him. There's nothing we can do. So they didn't know what to do with me. So they asked me, do you have anything to say? So I say, yes, I would like to take revenge against this bachur that hit me on my nose. So they told him, s'il vous plaît. Go ahead. Go ahead. So the Maharsha told him, listen to your foolish mouth. They're trying to trick you. Over there, the angel is protecting you because you support the Torah. You support it. Now they want you to go after this bachur yeshiva to use it against you that you really don't care about the Torah. Because if you cared about the Torah, you wouldn't go after a guy that hit you a little thing on the nose. You would give up. You would forgive him. After you hurt him, the case against you will be sealed. Be a gentleman, forgive him, and everything will be fine with you. And after that, he never came back, and he wrote it in his book. He never came back. Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu, I want you to teach the Levites, the Leviim, all the laws of Bet HaMikdash, what to do, what not to do. After he taught them everything, the Torah says, ויעשו בני ישראל ככל אשר ציווה השם את משה. And the nation of Israel did everything that Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu. The Gemara say, what do you mean, Bnei Israel? It was only the family of the Leviim. It wasn't Bnei Israel. The answer is because every Jew gave his 10% to the Leviim who were serving Hashem. Each one of them has a share in the mitzvot that the Leviim did equally. 100% like it. The Gemara says, Gadol המעשה יותר מן העושה. Someone that make other Jews do the right thing, his reward is even greater than them. Why Hashem made it like that? Why? Because Hashem wanted to give each one of us an incentive to give everything we can to save other souls. Before I finish, I want to tell you something. The Gemara in Masechet Brachot, the Gemara say like this, page 64, Tzadikim en lahem menucha afilu ba'olam haba. The righteous people don't have a rest. They'll never rest, even in the afterlife. What's the point here? What do you mean in the afterlife? When they done here, they did a lot of good things and they done. What do you mean they don't have a rest? Meaning they never stay in one status. They're constantly going higher and higher and higher. Why? Because of the good things that they left in the world. The Gemara in Masechet Rosh Hashanah say, every Rosh Hashanah, it's the judgment day, it's the birthday of Adam HaRishon. Sifrei Chaim veMetim Niftachim. Books of the living people and books of the deceased people are opening up in front of Hashem. The Gemara say, we are alive. Hashem has to see what we did good and bad this year, this past year, and how the next year is going to be. We understand. But someone who passed away 200 years ago, why I have to open his book every Rosh Hashanah? The answer, When Avraham Avinu made people come and recognize Hashem and leave their idols, the Torah says, "Ve'et hanefesh asher asu becharan," all the people that Avraham and Sarah created. Since when a person can create people? The Torah says when you make a person religious, Hashem counted like you created him. Everything he will ever do belongs to you. He gets his full reward, but he gets to you for eternity. That's why every Rosh Hashanah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu opens the book and pays you for everything you did in a previous life. Rabbeinu Bechaye, one of the biggest rabbis in the last 1,000 years, he writes in this legendary book that you cannot move 1 inch in Judaism without it. Everything we know about emunah and confidence comes from his book. And that was almost 800 years ago. And this is what he writes. He writes, you should know that even if a Jew reach a level of the perfect prophets, such as Yeshaya, Yechezkel, and others, people who spoke to Hashem. Who speaks to Hashem in this world? Who? How many people ever spoke to Hashem? You can count them one by one. Even if a human being in our world reached the level of these great legendary prophets and have perfect righteousness, perfect, does not even come near a Jew that makes other Jews religious. Now, how does a Jew make other Jew come to Hashem? Few ways. One, he knows how to talk. Second, he knows how to write books. Not everyone knows how to talk, but some people knows how to write. Third, he gives his money. He support. He organize. He publish. He open his home. He runs after people to come. He makes phone calls. He makes flyers. Everything he reads in his Facebook page, right away he share with another 1,000. One time I made one post on my Facebook page. I have 72,000 people. I posted an article. 4 hours later, it went to 1,250,000 Jews. 4 hours later. Why? All my people in the page started to share. He sent to 300, he sent to 1,000, he sent to 50. It keeps going, traveling, and it keeps showing you. Keeps showing you. I just showed David now, an hour ago. Just this week alone, almost 1 million views on one of the pages. How we get to so many people. Even Moshe Rabbeinu in his 120 years didn't get to such volume. Why? There's no internet, no Facebook, no YouTube, no way to reach lost people that will never come to Shiurei Torah. And that's why Kiruv now, it's critical, it's the easiest it's ever been. Most of the Jews are very far. They feel emptiness. I meet them all the time, all over the world. There's a lot of emptiness. You go to places, you feel the people, just give me 10 minutes of your time. Not even proofs. You don't even give him the CDs. You don't even give him the proofs. You talk to him 10 minutes. He open up his heart. You shake his hand. I was in Istanbul. They told me, you know, over here you can't come with a kippah. So I said, no problem. I got a beret. I look 70 years old with a beret. Baruch Hashem, I went to Istanbul. They told me, you know, over here the shul is surrounded with walls, gunmen, 3 different doors. You come to one door, they lock it. You go to the next door, they lock it. Mamash like a bunker. And there's 2 big shuls, one in Europe, one in Asia. Istanbul is half Europe, half Asia. And I went to speak in those 2 places, thank you. And I went to speak there. And then we had an event on the Hilton Hotel in Istanbul. The people from Turkey, they organized the event. They say, if we have 100 people, it will be very nice. If we have 150, it will be a miracle. I got to the hotel at 1 p.m. 450 Turkish Jews did not go to yeshivot, very, very far from Torah. They came to the event. It was until 11 at night, 10 hours. All day after the lecture, I was shaking their hands one after the other that they promised me they start keeping Shabbat. Do you think they lied? I don't think one of them lied. Half of them already in Ra'anana, in Rav Yaakov Hillel Yeshiva. I went now to Eretz Israel. I started to meet. One of them organized me in Petach Tikva, a big event. 6 in the evening, the shul is packed of people. Why? From the visit in Istanbul. I'm telling you, today it's the easiest it's ever been. A little bit money, a little bit cooperation, all of us together, instead of killing each other, to support each other. Not to let the enemies of Hashem and His children take over our nation, like some people unfortunately do. We have to get together, unity. Kvod Harav Saba, he said in his first speech here, I don't know French, but from what he said, I heard he repeats the name Achav. Achav was one of the worst kings in a history. But when he went to war with his soldiers, he was winning. And kings that were much better than him sometimes didn't win. The Gemara says, why a king that is an idol worshipper, a murderer, and such a bad person, he wins in a war, and other kings that are much better not always win? The answer was unity. Him and his wicked soldiers were ready to die for each other. And I will finish with 1-2 minute stories for all of us to get the message. When Napoleon was occupying one country after the other, the main battle that he had left was the Russians. He had to go against the Russians. And they told him there is a big rabbi, Rav Chaim Volozhin. He's a student of the Gaon Mivilna, about 200 and something years ago. He said, okay, let me go and talk to him. So they went to speak to Rav Chaim Volozhin, and he said, what do you think is going to be between the battle between us, the French, and the Russian? So Rav Chaim Volozhin never heard of being politically correct. He was honest. When he said something, it was the truth. Not according to what the person wants to hear. What the truth is the truth should be always above any calculation and politics and personal interest. A kosher Jew, what does it mean Yehudi? Come from the word modeh. Always stick to the truth and always grateful. In one word, you can define Judaism, modeh. Modeh in Hebrew has 2 meanings. Modeh al haemet, always admit for the truth, no matter if I like it, don't like it, it's comfortable for me, it's not comfortable, it's not relevant. There is the truth in front of me, I must stick to it. Later I'll calculate if it's good or bad for me, if I like it, I don't like it, that's besides the point. And also to appreciate every little thing that someone does for you. So he said to him, the Russian going to rip you apart. No, how many people can say it to the face of Napoleon? And he said to him, why? He said, let me tell you a story you'll understand. One rich man bought 4 expensive horses, Saudi, British, each horse $1 million. 4 horses, beautiful carriage, and the rich man, back in the days, there's no cars, so he's sitting in his carriage. One day it started to rain, and the floor on the forest became muddy. So the carriage got stuck in the mud. So the rich man was taking his whip, hitting one of the horse. All 4 are jumping, high, it's shaking. He hits the other one, they're not moving. Like 45 minutes, pouring rain, and the horses are stuck. All of a sudden, a lousy little carriage with these poor men, and 2 horses, skinny, ugly, very cheap horses, not even $200 each. They come there to the mud, they got stuck for a second, the poor man took his whip, he hit one horse, both of them went like this, they got out of the mud and continued to go. The rich man was going crazy, so I invested millions of dollars. They told me this is the best horses in the world, and this guy for $200 already is out of here. He went crazy. So he went, after finally he made it, he went to ask, what's going on? So this is what Rav Chaim Volozhin said to Napoleon. He said, let me explain to you what happened over there. The poor man bought 2 cheap horses, he put them together. They were from the same place. They live, they eat together. All day they together. They like each other. When the poor man hit the first horse, the second one felt the pain of his brother. And right away, they both were trying to push because he knew, my brother is suffering. How can I not give a push? But you got 4 horses, one in Saudi, one in England, one here. They hate each other. Racism. They hate each other. When you hit the Moroccan, the Iraqi, the Persian, and the Ashkenazi, they're very happy. Wow. Give him. When you move to the Ashkenazi, the Moroccan, and the Syrian, and the Persian, say, give him another one. Like this, he hits each one of them, the other 3 are happy. Instead of be united, the children of Hashem, doesn't matter where you came from, what is all this nonsense, all this horrible politics. We have to put it aside. Mashiach is mamash by the door, that's it. Very, very close before you realize it will be all over. But we have to be ready for that. And we can save a lot more people now. The Torah says if you see the donkey of your friend collapse from the weight, you're not allowed to ignore the donkey of your friend. Chazal are saying, the donkey of your friend you cannot ignore, but the soul of your friend you will dare to ignore? The donkey you cannot ignore, but the Jew that is lost in his dreams and who knows where he is, you can save him by give some efforts or by a little money or some of your time, and you will ignore his soul. The donkey you don't have permission to ignore. We have, Baruch Hashem, a lot of things to say, but time ran out. But I want each one of you to know, dinners like this of great organizations who make Kiruv, bring speakers, do all kinds of waves after. It's not only the seminar or the weekend, it's what happens after. I brought you here, 2,000 CDs, 3,000 CDs free. I'm not paying for it. People donate the money, and I give them out for free, and that's how I'm going on. 1 year, another year, and Baruch Hashem, it's only growing. You're going to take these CDs free of charge. Take for your friends, every secular Jew that you know, don't forget him right now. Think. Take Torah and Science. It's 4 hours Jewish seminar. Even the wall become religious when you watch it. Do you hear me or no? Yes. But please take it, give it to them. There's life after death, there's the debate with the Christian priest. There's a lot of good CDs there. For the car, I'm warning you, it's a little bit addictive. But it's very good. You better be addicted to the Torah than to the nonsense. You listen to it, you give it to others. Please take a bunch. Please take advantage on us. Please. I want to thank Rabbi Sabah, my good friend that invited me again after a few years that I was here with him. And thank you to all the wonderful people, to David Levy, Dr. Levy, and Vicky, and Dominic, and Paul, and all the wonderful people who help. Baruch Hashem, there's wonderful people here in this place. Mamash, from the last time I already realized it. But they stuck, they went, they tried, they did wonderful things. I asked Vicky, they're preparing for you a chair between Sarah Imenu to Rivka Imenu. You want it on the right or you want it on the left? Why? Hashem loves people that care about others. To bring, to do. That's what we're all doing here tonight. Thank you very much. Hope to see you again. Thank you. Okay.